Oh, it helps when you add yourself to the stream, doesn't it? I swear we can figure this new age fangled technology out. But hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to this stream on this. Oh yeah, because we're obviously noob and we can hear ourselves in the background because we are professionals here. Because as we know, like in a recent Democratic debate when they were interviewing some of the hosts and the panelists and stuff there, they were giving their time and they meant to have the lights out for those 20 or 30 seconds while everyone was talking and the camera showed a very poorly lit room. But that's beside the point. That's merely critique, and I can see that nobody is watching right now. That is perfectly fine. That's because we have the freedom to watch if we want to. Oh God, now people are actually starting to watch. Now I feel like I'm being judged. Hopefully it's just myself watching myself broadcast on this internet stuff and things. But no, there's just a little impromptu stream just because talking with some folks on this internet. Some folks are feeling a little bit down, so we figured we'd do a little bit of a shindig. As I still got about an hour or so before I have to go over to my mom. So I just figured we'd gather here and maybe share some tales, maybe share some stories about stuff and things for people to actually say things. Wait a second, can I actually post in the chat now through StreamYard? Does this actually work? Oh, are there improvements here? Let's see what happens. Let's put maybe some stream links out here. Maybe let's advertise some things because nobody's ever posted the wrong thing on the internet because of reasons, pride slash lols. Yeah. So let's go on the Twitters. We're gonna hop on the little Twitters right now. We're gonna post. We're gonna post this little live stream out there. Let's see. Is that the stream link or is that? Oh, maybe we should check these things first. It's okay. It's all right. It's all good. Oh dear, what a terrifying thumbnail I switched this to. You can only imagine the horror about a creature like that coming up behind a lovely young woman. And just the terror it would ensue. We can only imagine. Yeah. Oh, I think we might have some friends coming up. Yeah. Come. Join us. Friends. We like friends. But no, it's come to my attention. Basically, just kind of hang around on this internet stuff and things for many years now, lurking, participating, being out there, IRL, HTTP, FTP, whatever you want to be, yada yada yada. It's I really think there's just so much miscommunication here. And what do I say by this? Take any interaction you've had over the course of your entire life. Just any interaction with anybody, especially when you disagree on something. Because disagreeing is the worst thing in the world, because all of a sudden you don't believe what I believe, thereby you must not be a real person. Because reasons. Because if I'm a real person and you don't believe me, how can you be a real person? Oh, it's cognitive. No, my big thing is a lot of the time is you'll have folks sitting around, they'll be cracking jokes, and no matter what happens, somebody says something, somebody does something, goes beyond the pale. We devolve into these purity spirals again and again. Why? Is it because we really are so divisive we cannot coexist? My big thing is so many of these situations, no matter whenever you have two sides or even more than two sides, however many sides going at it, it's like I'm pretty sure if you put those folks at like a concert or maybe a movie that they actually enjoy and they're there, they would be able to interact and coexist. We'd be able to exist among one another and not try to tear each other's throats out. And I've been thinking, like, why is this? Why is this? Is it just because of Rule 14 of the internet? Everyone loves a good dumpster fire. It's definitely got to play into it. We've got the artist formerly known as Voice, just another nerd over there in the chat. What's going on, my man? Oh, dye my beard white. Don't worry. With the amount of stress going along in the world, I'm sure my beard will be graying and whitening up very, very quickly. Either that or I could Maybe I could order a dozen donuts and get some powdered sugar in there, but that might lead individuals to believing other stuff and things. But that's not important right now. What's important is you, those folks out there in this internet and stuff and things. Everybody affects everybody in some way. Feels like we have no power. I was just listening to a YouTuber who I follow, who she was attempting to do a type of stream, and then apparently was having some technical difficulties, and she felt like she was being silenced. So instead of going on her stream, she had 57 seconds of what seemed like disappointment. I really hope that was a high level troll from our fellow wearers of armor and that may or may like to smite stuff and things around the internet and stuff and things. But the big thing is, I think there's also other answers for these things. Are we always being suppressed? Is there a certain level of suppression? Sure. But you need to understand what's going on. It's like, okay, yeah, what is the difference between somebody being on the news, like a professional newscaster, and somebody on the YouTubes? Let's face it. Oh, they're reading from a teleprompter. Sometimes maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe because they actually have folks checking on things. And you might not like the way they're saying it, but the thing is it untrue? You can argue the framing. You can say they framed it to completely take the piss out of them. That is fair. But as long as it's still true, you disagree. You change the channel, which is what I hear about a lot of folks on the greater YouTubes. If you don't like what you're hearing, you can change the channel. That's the thing. You have the choice to do these things. Oh, I see Brent here as well. He is surfing the net along with a sail friend. So let's actually make this more interesting, because I tend to believe in times we should have some Proteriot rumbles. So let's just throw these things out there in the chat. Will that actually go in the actual chat? I have no idea. Does it actually go through? Oh my God, it actually did. It posted the link to this particular StreamYard hangout. So anyone that's out there that wants to chill and just talk about whatever, hey, feel free to join us now on this internet and stuff and things. Oh, we should post this on Twitter, because obviously that's the best locale to post links for things that you would like to have private or out there in the world. So let's go out there. Now, how should we phrase this? Because this is obviously a good idea. There we go. There we go, chat. We've got our tweet composed, and now we just send it out to the world. Oh, what could go wrong? All right. Yes. An invitation has been sent out there on the internet. Oh, maybe we'll actually retweet this to somebody that may care, because we should try to keep our promises. What the heck am I doing? I'm retweeting this the wrong way. I'm such a noob. I really don't know how to do Twitter. And all I know is obviously everyone else must be super professionals. They know how to Twitter, and nobody's ever made an error on this internet, because then you might have to say you're wrong about something. We can't do that. You don't apologize for anything on this internet, because this is what we do. This is the current the zeitgeist we're at. Yeah, so I just tossed the link in the chat for anyone that wants to pop up for even if just a minute, or even for a couple minutes. Yeah, I got about an hour to kill right now till I go over to see my Dukes. So this is what we get going on. How do we spell these things? All right, we're gonna do that. All right. Happy day, happy day. Oh, hey, we got a Mr. Ogre in the chat. Merry Christmas to you, Mr. Ogre. May you enjoy many, many fine Christmas cookies and treats of you and or Mrs. Ogre's making. But what we got? Oh, I'm hearing about holiday bedlam potentially. Oh dear, Brent, you make sure you take care of yourself. You take care of yourself. You stay safe, and when in doubt, maybe call an Uber. Don't drink and drive, folks. It's not a good idea. All it takes is just that one time getting caught. That's the thing. Life ain't always fair. You just gotta take it as we roll along. So That's what we got going on there. But I'm oh, I think we have friends joining. All right, let's add our friends here. Welcome.
Freak.
Oh, next one to know one.
Yeah, well, I'm sitting resting in the back of my parents' house. What do you want?
Oh, well, I believe there were some individuals that said that they may do stuff or things and may include certain people. So, as a wise Hercule once said, we should try to keep our promises.
I'm trying to remember.
I don't even know if this is applicable, but I wanted to be inclusive. So we we have Miss Rosetta. Merry Christmas, Darth Angel here. She is joining us. We've had some interesting topics. She happens to be part of the fandom menace, which apparently I am also a part of, I guess, because if it's about the people, I like people. So that's what we got going
Well, that
on.
makes you. I don't like most people.
Oh, well, I feel privileged. Thank you
You
very
should.
much.
Most people get a general fuck you from me.
Oh my God. Oh, we were actually getting cycles in the chat. Oh, we got Sporking News podcast there. I love sporks. And no, here's the big thing. Here's the big thing. If we want to save the environment, I hear people talking about, let's bring back sports. Let's bring back sports. Do they not remember the great spork wars of the early 90s? Because I remember the great spork wars back in the fifth grade. When you have the spork, it's got the three prongs on it. And then all of a sudden you challenge the other person. So they flip their spork around and then they pull it back and then you try to take off the three prongs as quickly as you can. So we were basically just committing just mass destruction of sporks worldwide and just wasting utensils. Do you remember this?
Mm-mm.
Maybe it was just a boy thing, or maybe it was because I grew up in a larger town. We'll go with city, and or we just people tend to do stupid shit on it. This is just what I remember. This is just where
No, the
happening.
stupid shit that we did was a lot worse.
Oh, well, as long as the statutes of limitations are up, you can feel free to share if you want.
I mean, I was 5 when I put the freaking hole through my lip with my sister.
Oh,
because we were trying to recreate the cliff seat of Princess Bride with freaking metal tent poles.
How did that work out?
Hole through lip, cracked teeth.
Oh, so it wasn't just like a little hole. It's like, okay, let's put like a stud or something.
No.
It'll be cute.
80s tent poles, those big freaking metal ones.
Oh, holy. That sounds like a very bad day. I mean, the closest thing I ever had to that is back in high school when I was doing some track and field. My buddy and I were throwing some javelins, and I was terrible at javelin. He was pretty good at it, and he threw it, and I'm sitting there looking. I'm like, that looks like it's coming straight for me. And right at the last second, I'm like, oh, that's going to come into collision with me. So I take a quick sidestep, and then all of a sudden I just feel something, and it didn't hurt. And I look, I'm like, oh, that just. I had those big baggy workout pants on, and it caught the side of the big baggy workout pants. I'm like,
Thomas.
Oh, we got a Thomas in there.
Got Gilkins in chat. Thomas.
Oh, Thomas is signal boosting us.
Baby.
Oh, Tom. Hey, pop up if you want, man. I'm not sure if you're still at work or you're traveling home or anything. If you have the ability, pop up here.
Because I'm not going to be in here long. I got to go back out with them soon. I was just getting a little rest.
Oh, no. I hear you.
Because I'm still pretty sick.
No, I remember you had to travel.
Yesterday and all the flare-ups. And it was, I think, one of the most painful days I've had. Ever. Because every injury and every illness was flaring and we were on the freaking road.
No, especially if you're traveling, and that's what a lot of folks that maybe don't necessarily deal with some of those complications don't necessarily realize. It's like I've driven like 13 hours, but like the only thing I had to deal with was just my sheer lack of boredom. Lucky I had my cousin with me.
I want us to focus though, because let's not bring the negativity down. I have a pinned post for a reason. I'm not going to let anything drive this season to not be what it's supposed to be. Anything. And then my pinned post is what I want the entire community to try to strive to be today. Not let any of them get in your head.
Let's read this post tweet from 5 hours ago, and it says, "Merry Christmas to all the haters. You may hate me, you do. You threaten me, you harass me, stalk me, and my disabilities.
Mock.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I can't read. It's sunglasses for internet points. Yeah, you harass me, stalk me, mock my disabilities, but you won't tear my spirit down. I truly wish all you a Merry Christmas full of family and love. I wish you everything you don't want from me. May God bless you." All right. I think that deserves a like. All right. Well, that's the thing, and that really is like supposed to be the spirit of Christmas and stuff, because at least in the whole ethos, it's supposed to be all right. Christmas, a holiday where you eat, drink, and be merry, but you're also supposed to spend time with loved ones, supposed to wish your fellow creature well, just tidings to all, and all that. I'm not a great poet. I'm not like the great Mr. Ogre, who has graced us at least temporarily with his presence down there in the chat. He actually was part of a band. I merely was a follower of bands and like to converse with people. But
I'm a church singer, but I sound like crap right now because of being sick. So hey.
Well, I mean, you're like you're full of illness at this point, and you're at a very low point. But hey, you got to have lows to have highs, and that's the way I see it. We're at the end of the year right now. Even if things kind of seem really crummy, it's we're gonna work towards a better tomorrow. Are you getting attacked by an animal?
No, I was just cringing in case you were going to mention a certain holiday.
Oh, I was trying to avoid it. That's why I thought this may have been the holiday. I don't remember which holiday it was.
It was it was the balloon drop where that happened.
Okay.
I try to brace myself and block certain sounds, so if people do say it, it doesn't trigger as easy.
Okay, so I can start saying Merry Christmas.
Oh, I love Christmas.
Okay, no. See, that's what I thought the holiday was. I thought it was the other one, but I wasn't sure, so I wanted to, reasons. Because obviously I'm already a coherent person that knows exactly what's going on at this exact moment. But, Sporking News, he's saying that, Rosetta, you should read the first stanza of the Serenity Prayer. It's a mantra.
Oh, I know it.
I don't know what that is. Would you mind enlightening me?
Well, I'd rather have Sporking here since it's his mantra, but if I can drag him to get in here for a minute.
Oh, no, the links in the chat. Feel free to join us, Sporking. We always enjoy hearing from our other friends.
I would like to wish my friend a Merry Christmas anyways.
Oh, there we go. Hey, good tidings to you. But, well, that's the thing. It's like I hear folks going back and forth about this and that. It's like, okay, no, there are a lot of issues in the world. It's like, well, how many issues do we have control of? You can highlight issues. That's definitely something to do. But then again, I heard something from kind of like along my whole political sphere of YouTube about saying, it's like, well, what can we do? It's like, well, I guess pointing these things out is all we can do. It's like, really?
We can take our stand, and if we don't make the world change, at least we did our part.
No. Well, that's the thing. It's like you can do that. But does it come down to the whole, like, quote unquote, keyboard warriors? I realize it's like almost like you're having journalism engaging with journalism.
There is a difference with that, with saying keyboard warriors. Are you somebody who's just typing things out and warring with people just to war with them? Or are you actually taking a stand, speaking your mind, and letting the world face you? See, and I think part of that also comes, do you speak your mind outside of that? I think by the time you start getting to the point where you're doing all this and you're actually putting your face out there, you're actually putting your voice out there, you're actually taking a stand with people to come at you and be detractors of you, that goes beyond it.
Okay, so almost, and this is something that I've actually said to folks on the left or on the right, whether folks are going out there, going after different folks. And again, I won't even mention them. But whatever group it is, it's like, dude, I don't care if you're just somebody voicing your opinion, what you believe to be true on the internet or in real life. Remove the mask, because that's the thing. If you truly feel this way, remove the mask. Will it open you up to more criticism and critique? Yes, it will. It definitely will. But you know what? A wise man once said, we do these things not because they are easy, but because they are hard. And I notice a lot of folks trying to do what seems to be more easy and expedient nowadays. Just because we have the internet, we have the means to do it. But just because we have the means to do something, just because you can always, get a huge zinger there, or a hot take, or I can take the piss out of this person because they're vulnerable at this point. You can do it. Doesn't make it good.
Taking a stab at somebody for vulnerability is never good. That just shows that you're an absolute psycho and a bully.
I mean, I tend to think that's usually a bit of projection from many people, especially if folks are just kind of doing their thing. If that's how they get joy in life, I mean, I guess maybe they should have a better hobby or something. But often when I actually talk with some of these folks that have said pretty terrible things, if I actually start to have a conversation and I start kind of going through the layers, there often ends up being a core to some of the hatred they have. And it's not often comfortable to deal with it because a lot of times it might be something that happened long ago. There are deep-seated reasons. Are there folks out there that just want to see the entire world burn? Sure. I'm pretty sure I was among them at one point in my life where you just wanted to just see everything come crashing down, everything. But I don't know. When I was at my worst, all I know is at times it just took just a single act of kindness that I didn't deserve at all. And that
Maybe
was what
I'm
would bring
weird
me
in
back.
that regards. I've never just wanted to see things burn. I've never just wanted to see people suffer. Now, I can say I've wanted to see the people who wronged me suffer. But I never just wanted to see random people hurt. I never hit that point.
Well, I mean, it could be. I'm going to assume that particular correlation has to do with the fact that I also more or less was destroying like hundreds of perfectly good sporks when I was a child. So something along the lines with me doing that and perhaps wanting to see the end of all existence probably correlated.
I don't know. I hunt. I shoot. I'm been fencing since I was 5, so I'm not exactly a dainty girl here. I'm an ex-wrestler.
Oh, you wrestled? Oh, me too. Like kind of like youth wrestling,
Well, that was in Job Corps high school wrestling, so until I got kicked out, but that's another story.
Oh dear. Well, the interesting thing is, I first got my taste of actual wrestling when I was in probably like 3rd grade or something. I went in there. I'm like, wait, why aren't we doing all these suplexes and stuff? And
well, screw that fake wrestling stuff.
It is not.
It so much. It's not wrestling.
There is a certain, maybe perhaps choreography to a particular dance.
It's not wrestling.
It's theatrics. It's a show. There. I tend to believe there's a reason why it went from World Wrestling Federation to World Wrestling Entertainment. Not only because the WWF, the World Wildlife Foundation, won the lawsuit against Vince McMahon, but also the fact of if you're classified under a sport, I believe there are certain locales where certain testing of said athletes might be involved. Whereas if you're an entertainment, a production, a show, well, I mean, you don't need to test the actors. I mean, who cares? I tend to think that those kind of go hand in hand right over there. But Sporky News is subbed. Oh, my power is growing. Thomas, you are gaining me undue influence. I apologize to the world and thank you.
Why? You've been a nice guy to me.
Oh, well, that doesn't mean I'm still not a terrible person.
Yeah, but I don't care if people are terrible as long as they're nice to me.
Oh, well, that's actually kind of the mantra that I use, because I've had folks that, like, I'll hang out with or chat with, they means how can you associate with that person? It's like they're a terrible person. It's like, well, they haven't done anything terrible to me. Well, look at all these things, and I'll sit there and I'll look at some of these things and be like, that seems like really stupid shit. That seems like some really terrible stuff there. And I'm like, well, did they apologize? Well, yeah. Well, but they're still being an asshole. It's like, well, they're not being an asshole to me. And that's one of those things. It's just I'm getting very tired of people telling me who I can and cannot be friends with, because that's literally stuff I engaged with when I was younger.
I'll never tell people who they can and can't be friends with. I will warn people if somebody they're friends with is a two-faced psycho, that this person might try to screw you.
Oh, well, and that's the thing.
But a little different than telling them you can't be friends with them.
Well, my big thing is I've grown up and like I've had friends that literally I knew like they were an asshole. It's like I realize like whatever they're doing right there, it's like okay, they're
I'm a
acting like
bitch.
they're acting like an asshole. I mean, I've still had cool times and stuff with them, but I acknowledge that if I'm going to be around other people, that maybe I should just mention before they completely lose their minds that oh, you're so an asshole. We've all had friends like that, and it's just even when I talk to certain folks like within the greater gig industry, kind of like the music industry and stuff. I talked with one of my friends at one point. It was a member of a band, and I'm like, well, you see, I'm like, oh, you guys seem to get a lot of gigs. They're like, well, we can work with people. And I'm like, well, what are you talking about? He's like, I asked him, like, well, he's like, well, because we can work with assholes. I'm like, all right. So I just inquired about his industry. I'm like, well, what % of the industry do you think are assholes? And I think he came up with something greater than 50%. And I'm like, oh. And and that's what he was basically like. He's like, you don't necessarily need to be best friends with somebody to work with somebody. And that's the thing. It's like, if you're going to sit
I
there.
knew it, surrounded by assholes.
Oh, well, hey, it takes one to know one.
Please tell me you got that quote.
What?
Seriously, you didn't get the quote? What the fuck is wrong with you?
I was talking and not listening to the own words coming out of my mouth.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Oh, that sounds very familiar. Oh. They're making a second one. Please, aren't they? It's like 30 years too late. It's like 30 years too late.
I would hope so, but then again, look at how old Mel Brooks is.
Mel Brooks, you're our only hope. That's a
He's
horrible
93.
thing to say. Oh, maybe him and Betty White can kind of do like a little like Mary Poppins thing. And
I'm the crazy one in the fandom that actually posted a happy birthday video for Mel Brooks on his birthday.
Hey, whatever, man. That's the thing. It's like
freaking. I love Mel Brooks stuff. I love his stuff.
Well, is he at least of the age and had come out with enough things at the time where it was still considered art? Because from what I understand, is basically a lot of this stuff is just folks are like, oh, well, using our modern moral lens, like this is grossly offensive. Yes, it is.
Yes, that's what makes it funny. Shut up.
Well, the thing is, if something is done in art, it's kind of like if you go into the whole like pornography thing as well. It's like, all right, if you have like a statue of David, or if you happen to have like some painting of a young lady from many years ago, it's like, okay, they might be nude, but is that pornography or is that a work of art?
I think the line between porn and art is very delicate. I also don't think necessarily that things that are nude should be paraded around families, whether or not they're art or porn. Well, I do actually have an issue with some of these cities that have all those freaking nude statues in the parks where kids play.
Well, that's the thing about protecting children. That's one of the things that we've kind of seen going on with YouTube and stuff nowadays, just because it's like, well, they realize. Well,
there's a difference, though, between saying they shouldn't have nudes in a public park that's designed for kids to play with versus saying it's the internet and we're going to over micromanage everybody because kids can't be controlled because parents are too lazy to control their crotch blossoms.
Now my big thing with COPPA is like I think much of this is solved by something that folks don't really want to touch on. It's that, okay, if we're going to have certain sites on the internet, okay, well maybe we should have some things age gated just for those particular reasons, because we must remember, Rosetta.
Do you realize how hard that is to actually do? There's few ways they try to age restrict a lot of websites. IDs, which kids just take the ID out of their parents' purse or wallet and do it anyways. It's never stopped kids. One of them is also supposed to be through credit card numbers to verify an adult account. Problem is, a lot of banks will do cards for kids on walk-up accounts once they hit 14 or older. B, a lot of kids get around those by buying Visa gift cards. It doesn't stop them.
Well, you actually just completely steelman the point I was about to make, because we must remember nobody under the age of 18 has ever lied about their age on the internet. That's why I see it kind of as a moot point, at least to cover the butts of the companies there. And a lot of times it's like I'll hear folks hating on these big companies. No, just one moment. It's basically all I know is, okay, at least if you put it as like this site is 18 plus. If somebody lies about that, you can't necessarily do that, but at least you're going through the motions, and then you won't necessarily have the whole thing where basically they're on the lines with like investors and advertisers saying, oh yes, we have a very vibrant advertising program towards children on YouTube. Yeah.
But the whole you can't advertise to kids, I honestly think is stupid anyways. What do you think 90% of the ads on TV are? It's a BS double standard. That's one thing. Just straight up honest on that.
Well, the question is, what's the equivalent?
Let me finish a second, then I'll do that, okay? But I understand you can't have them data mining them and stuff like that. You need to have protection. They can't be reading the IPs, stuff like that. But having basic advertisements should not be an issue.
The basic ad,
okay. The other thing is, you're never going to be able to control what kids do unless the parents are. That is what it is. And if they're just saying, just have these extra couple buttons, your account says it, and that's all they were doing, I wouldn't care. But $43,000 fines if they decide you have something in your video that could be considered a child appealer. Seriously? Most people don't make that in a year. There's something really dangerous here with draconian behaviors and speech control. So
now, yeah, no. I do have concerns over that. And again, like free speech is something that it does have limits, as basically we have laid out by law within the courts and everything like that. Basically, the incitement to violence and everything, and that currently is being argued. And it's just.
I even think some of those levels have gone too far, but you can't just straight up threaten people and stuff like that. That's definitely true. But there are some things that are definitely being censored now that are just pathetic, whiny stuff.
See, my big thing is a lot of times, just to briefly just touch upon the free speech thing that we're discussing right now, is I hear the public park scenario. Basically, this is the open public square where discussions are being had. Okay, now if you're going to analogize that, let's say you're walking through like Central Park in New York. If someone comes up to you and just starts screaming something, it's like, okay, well, you can walk away or something like that. You're not going to infringe upon their speech. However, if that person continues to follow you and continues to harass you, at that point, they're creating more or less a public disturbance at times. So then you can get the authorities involved. It's just, who are the cops of the internet?
It's not speech that's the problem. It's stalking, harassment, and being a threat.
I think people get confused about that, because if we are actually to try this and basically like, okay, let's say, for example, on Twitter, if all of a sudden you make a comment to somebody, like it's a very pointed comment, you're not inciting violence, maybe you're taking the piss a little. Okay, what happens if you continually do that on a very frequent basis to a person? Now, I think Twitter has it actually figured out quite well, in that if you don't want to deal with somebody, you can, no, hear me out. You can block them or you can mute them. So basically, either you never have to see this person, they can't interact with you, or they will never interact there. The reason why I say Twitter has this figured out is, take how toxic Twitter is, and it still exists. That's my big thing. I think that the block and the mute function, the only way is Twitter has, as toxic as it is able to still exist. No?
Twitter is auto-flagging and removing any post I put up that mentions the rape epidemic on the res and gun control in the same sentence. Twitter.
Now are they taking them down?
They are pulling it down automatically through their censor, saying it's sensitive information that will offend.
Now, are they pulling it down, or are they putting like a little thing you need to click another thing?
They won't post it. It pulls it down every time I try, if I mention those two things in the same post.
Take a screenshot of that.
I have a video when they did it to me before.
Huh. Because this is the thing. As soon as you start blocking certain words, And it's like, I get it. Words can be hurtful and everything, but you don't.
That's racial though, because this is the serious issue that's happening to people, and they're blocking it from being heard publicly.
That sounds like a major issue. It sounds like they're maybe a little bit more concerned with their holiday advertising revenue
This
than.
started with them flagging those every time I try to post it in the middle of summer.
That's interesting.
1 sec.
Oh, no worries. But my big thing is when I'm looking at what's going on in the world. Oh, and we got a Keely Chow there in the chat. What's going on, Keely Chow? Oh, geez, he's proposing an actual Broadway musical for one of Mel Brooks's the highlights, the quote unquote springtime for Hitler. Yes, because I am keeping myself moderating to try to algorithm stuff. But my big thing is a lot of folks don't know how to deal with each other on social media and the internet stuff of things. Back in the day, whether we like to admit it or not, we still kind of had the NAP in place. And what I mean by that is it was the non-aggression pact. It's you don't hurt somebody unless somebody hurts somebody. But I've heard the exact same argument from folks, whether they're on the further left or further right. It's those were fighting words. I'm like, okay, if folks on either end agree that those were fighting words, then that seems like an issue. But how do we used to resolve that? You used to be able to resolve it if it ultimately came to if somebody was so offended, they could always give you the knuckle sandwich. It's just that you don't have digital knuckle sandwiches, so what's the equivalent version of that? So I'm going to dox you. I'm going to try to get you fired.
Yeah. It's not just online, though. Because it was a political rally. I had the guy say straight to my face he wanted me raped on national television. It's not just online.
So who was this individual?
Some jagoff in the crowd. But I've had similar comments from actual people involved in different political protest groups before. And I can't go into all those details because of things that have had to be done because of it.
So
yeah, this stuff does happen in person a lot, actually.
Oh, no. There is always hateful BS will happen, but let me ask you, why do you think somebody would hold so much hatred in their heart?
I don't know.
Do you think this person was living the optimum life that they could?
No, I don't think most people are. I think most people are so stuck in their selfishness and hate that they don't see what the world really needs to be.
This was something that what you just said right there is I think it resonates highly because I love to say that I had some major revelation and just divine right spirit filled me or something. But at one point I was feeling kind of down yesterday, and I'm like, I miss Xmas' memes, this and that. It didn't end well. I'm an asshole. I did terrible things. And then right around that time I get a message. Oh my God, I almost had a tweet from my mom. I got a freaking text message from my mom asking me if I wanted to go to the Christmas services this evening. And I just kind of ignored it for a while. And then I'm like, oh my God, wait a second. I think I may have kind of figured something out. I'm like, maybe from past experiences, maybe deep-seated in the past with stuff with my mom. Yeah, we're going some Freudian shit here. It's like there are certain things that maybe I kind of didn't let go of. And I'm like, whoa, was I focusing on the fetish of hatred? Like, I feel like I was fetishizing hatred in that particular aspect. As soon as I thought that, I'm just like, holy crap, well, let me take care of this. So I messaged my mom. I told her I'd go to the Christmas service. And then I had called and left a message to Xmas' memes. And like, after I did that, I'm like, did I just confront something? I felt a lot better about it. And then it got me thinking about a lot of stuff we see on the internet right now. And it's just, well, what is hatred? If you're going after somebody or anything, especially if it's another person whom you don't like for whatever reason, it gives you like a feeling of power. It's like, I'm doing something. I mean, I don't know. Is it the dark side? What's going on, Rosetta? I don't know. Please help me with this.
Well, I think we all have a dark side there. That's nothing to sneeze at. And I tend to view it as faith is part of what pulls me out of it. I can't say I've never wished ill on somebody or felt horrible to somebody who screwed me over. I can't say I haven't had fantasies of how I deal with certain people because I am human. I can say for me, my faith keeps me from acting on it.
Well, that's the core of, I think, much of this disagreement we have here. The difference between thoughts and actions. That's the thing. What you think of, that's within your own mind. I think we may have discussed a little bit the other day about how at one point Professor Jordan Peterson, he's like a renowned psychologist. It's controversial to many, but at one point, like he's in grad school, he's saying there's like, I had an overwhelming urge to like jam a pencil in the back of the neck of the student in front of me. It's like, that is not a reasonable thing to do. And he's like, but when he was trying to repress it, when he just tried to ignore it, it just stayed there. And then he imagined it in his mind to completion, and poof, it was gone. And I think right now is a lot of folks are saying, I am putting something out there on this internet. It's just an idea. It is not an action. And then you'll hear other folks saying, well, your words lead to actions here. And to be able to differentiate between having a thought experiment and discussing difficult ideas, because I mean, if something's really worth talking about, it's likely going to be controversial. I mean, this is what we cover. It's just in the age that we can select wherever we want our news or information from, we often just default to what makes us feel good. And whether that's just even just taking the piss out of Star Wars, whether it's for valid reasons, whether you're just trying to ramp it up or something, or politics at all, it's like, okay, what actually happened here? Because when I actually delve into what actually happened, it's like, okay, yeah, I hear there were some issues, but it's like, okay, how much of this is you just don't like these people? We just don't like these people, so we're going to take the piss. My thing is, okay, just be all open about that. I just like these people, so I'm taking the piss. Rather than saying, well, they are breaking this and that and invoking all these things, because I start hearing...
For me, the issues I have with things is when people are spouting bigotries. And the problem we have currently in the culture is that in order to prop up their viewpoints, what they're doing is trying to tear down people of different views, lifestyles, genders, races, while claiming that they're tolerant. And that's where a lot of us get so fed up. They have to destroy other people in order to build themselves up. That's not what strength is. And it does exist on both sides. Both sides have their own version of SJWs.
That's something that some seem to have a very hard time to admit to for some reason. It's almost like, oh, be wary of hunting monsters, let you become the monster yourself.
I love the people who put up a post saying that they're against racism because white people are racist. And they're going, racist, stupid.
Well, I mean,
piece of...
if you were going to make the statement that there are white people out there, that there are some of them whom are racist, that would probably be accurate. It's just, my big thing is, if we should be quite wary of basically to hold all of any group or community responsible for the actions of a few, I think is an issue. That's the thing, and that's regardless of whatever group more or less you're discussing at that point. Because we all do stupid shit. That's the thing. If you can't admit,
and there's evil in every group.
Well, that's the thing. It's darkness. It knows no sole particular ancestry, nationality, or anything like that. It's always going to exist. It's just what we would prefer to happen is see folks within these different communities that as soon as they find out about this stuff, maybe you should attempt to deal with it rather than just maybe making excuses. Well, that's just so-and-so. It's okay. Well, I mean, can you say that that's so-and-so, but they were still acting like an asshole? That's the thing. We don't necessarily want to point out the flaws of those among us that we may often disagree with. But if you got an issue with somebody, and then how do we discuss it? Do we is the first thing we do. Well, somebody said something. Let's turn them on blast. Let's tweet this out there. Let's throw this video out there.
Stop making me smile. It makes me look like I have chipmunk cheeks.
Oh, you're freaking adorable. I love it. It's all right. It's all right. We need some holiday cheer here. So, oh my God, I'm getting red too.
Cheeks are too freaking big.
I feel like I need to put a wall down my mouth and crack it or something. Oh.
Anytime I smile, definitely my suicide comes out then, because when I smile, they look like they're huge.
It's okay. It's all right. We get a Laura there. Hail, Laura. I hope all's. Oh God. We've got gaming and yelling. Oh dear. We're mixing and matching different genres and networks of people all over the internet. Oh, this is what I live for. This is what I live for. It's kind of like the Pokemon song. It's
and
like
Pitu washte wonkin donkin kichi un.
What she said. I don't know what she said. But,
I bid you good day. May the Great Spirit bless you.
Oh, Dankeschön. And yet again, for anyone that may wish to join us, I only got about another half hour or so in me. But if anyone wants to join us for a little merry Christmas time action here, that is the link directly to this particular hangout. Feel free to join us, and because of reasons, we like to talk to people and do things, and maybe focus on a little bit of positivity, because there's so many folks that like to just burn everything to the ground per se. And I realize, because I kind of am the archetype of that in some way, and that I often ruin everything. It doesn't matter where I go.
I should go back out and be with my family, even if I am coughing in a miserable wreck out there.
Oh yeah, no, go do your family. No, hey, thank you so much for joining.
I was going to say that I'd stop in a few, since I was already in here resting anyways. It's not that hard to do from laying here. With the piles of all her freaking clothes and stuff she's rebuilding for her sewing room behind me.
You can build like a little nest.
This is her storage room where the extra bed is, so I'm surrounded by art supplies everywhere.
It's better you build a nest than a rat. Maybe you'll find the rats. Don't. Oh, I'm going to stop speaking.
There's no rodents in this house.
Oh, I like cats.
There's not usually a cat in this house, but there is right now, because I brought my old one with me.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
She can't be left unattended with her kidney issues.
Oh.
So she's with us. No, she's out in the other room acting like queen of the house.
Who was more uncomfortable for the car ride, you or the cat? Okay. So the cat took it well.
Oh, she loves travel. She loves car rides.
Really?
She laid on a blanket beside me, purring the whole time. I, however, because of all the pain issues I've been having and how bad they were flaring, I felt like my body was being ripped apart and I was being tortured. Literally.
That's no bueno.
So she was fine. I was sitting there trying not to cry.
See, we had a cat before. He was a little black Manx that grew into be a pretty good sized black Manx. But he actually still had the stub of a tail, so I have no idea if my mom just simply got ripped off by them charging for a Manx, but I don't know. He was a pretty cool cat. We named him Salem before Salem was really
most of those would have
Marina.
Most of those actually do have a little tiny natural stub. They just don't have an actual full tail.
Right. Oh, it was funny because you could tell when he was getting ready to attack something, because you just looked at the tiny little thing. It's like, oh God, he's gonna attack. But he hated traveling. He would like crawl up on your shoulder, be looking at me like, and just eventually he would just kind of like sit by your feet and just kind of look up at you and be like, is it over yet? Is it over yet? Is it over yet?
See, Jazzy just lays there, and if somebody drives up next to us she doesn't like, she sticks her tongue out at him. She's got my attitude in a lot of ways, that girl. This is the cat who hit her head on the bay window because she was headbanging to my speed metal.
Mama little boy cat.
I'm going to miss her when I lose her. She's my girl.
So no, that's why I mentioned some of my old pets and stuff like that, just because the memory, whether it's an animal or person, that keeps it with us.
She's 16.
That's pretty old. That's a pretty old cat.
And her kidneys are shutting down.
Well, you know what? She's very loved. And you at least need to go out there and pretend like you love your family.
I love my family. It's really easy.
Well, that's even better.
And I even have to try to get along because I have to see her, but apparently everything I've heard is my sister really is trying to be nicer and won't reach out to people, so we'll see how well it goes.
Hey, power to you.
Yeah.
You
Well,
have my blessings, Rosetta.
be safe.
Absolutely.
Merry Christmas, all.
Absolutely.
Let the dark side get you.
Oh dear. Oh well. Thank you so much, Rosetta of the Dark Side. Those are very, very encouraging words there. I thank you for joining me. Let me see if we may have any more special guests. Oh, but yeah. So that's very interesting, and it's again, it's like I really feel like we're in the age of the fetishism of hatred. It's just I just look at all these folks, and it's like, okay, yeah, I don't know, I'll talk with folks, and I'm happy to have discussions, and all I know is I go through, and it's like, okay, well, I really hate what this particular thing. It's like, okay, so why was I'll only use the Last Jedi because I only recently saw the Last Jedi. It's like, you murdered Luke Skywalker. I heard this. I'm like, oh dear, that sounds terrible. And it's like, okay, you go through, he has an encounter and everything, and spoilers for anyone that's maybe a year or two behind. But all right, you start blasting the heck out of him. He has a force battle. It's like, wait a second, he had a force projection thing. He almost did the whole Obi-Wan thing right there, and he transformed into a force ghost. I'm like, that sounds like canon to me. You might not like it there. And oh dear, things are about to go off the rail here. We have Gaming and Yelling who has decided to join us. Welcome, Gaming. Merry Christmas to you.
Screw you.
I love you too.
I mean, happy, merry, whatever.
I believe it may still be Hanukkah as well. I saw certain politicians wishing us happy Hanukkah last night.
The fuck is Hanukkah?
Oh, the Festival of Lights.
Never heard of it.
Oh, it's the oil was only supposed to last one day, but it lasted 8 crazy nights. Adam Sandler did a song on it.
Never heard of it.
Okay. It's all right. Hey, you go your way, I'll go Yahweh. No worries, man. But,
stop recycling a bad joke, goddammit. It's not going to get any better.
I've been using that bad joke for several years now.
You need to stop. You really need to stop.
Oh, okay. To be fair, I have been overusing that joke. That is fully accurate. I appreciate your input.
You know, that's what I'm here for.
So what's a good word, man? It's usually I'm popping into your streams just
I know, right?
You kind of have an open forum. You leave the back door open for me, and I usually end up finding my way in there.
Yeah, at least next time try to wipe your feet or lubed up or one or the other. Choose, but don't just walk in with your dirty feet.
That hits me really close. I literally tracked dog crap in the other day. No, seriously. I think I may have been on your stream, actually. I think I came in, I was out in the car smoking a butt, and all of a sudden I'm in the car, and like, it kind of smells like crap. I'm like, well, the dog, my roommate's dog, it's little like wiener schnitzel dog, a little Stella. She's very adorable. But she kind of went out there. I'm like, oh, it kind of smells. As I went inside, I kind of like looked down. I'm like, oh, I definitely just tracked dog crap that was heated on my foot from my heaters in my car into the entryway. So that's why I was on with some folks. I'm like, all right, let me go grab the paper towels. Let me grab the spray. I'm just spraying there. And they're like, where did beams go? I'm like, I'm cleaning up dog crap. Leave me alone. But what do you got going on for the holidays? I believe you mentioned your family knows to leave you to your own devices.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be home alone all day long, and I'll be good.
Are you going to attempt to shave and then put very strong aftershave on that you can go?
I don't use that stuff, so no.
Oh, you don't shave?
No. Well, I get like 3 hairs, and I don't need like not even water to shave them off. So,
well, I mean, are you attempting to grow facial hair, or I mean,
no,
you don't have to.
I don't. Even if I wanted to, I can't. Like, I can't grow.
See,
Like I told you, how could I make facial hair out of 3 hairs?
Oh,
Explain that, sir.
Well, you get beard oil, you play with them, and then as you continue to play with them without ripping or breaking them, you let it get beyond 3 hairs. So it's kind of like Super Saiyan 3. You thought that was the pinnacle of your power, but then when you broke through to Super Saiyan 4, Super Saiyan God, or any extension there, you realize basically you hit a new level. It's the same with facial hair, man. You just gotta get past the awkward point, and the awkward point is so awkward. Sometimes you're like, "Oh, I look so terrible. Oh my god, what's going on?" And then you just keep playing with it.
So you think I can get a full beard with three hairs?
I mean, I suppose you could comb them over in a very fancy way or something like that.
But they don't really grow too long either. So
do you let them grow? Do you let them grow?
It's 3 hairs. Why would I let just 3 hairs grow?
Because a wise princess once said, "Let them grow, let them grow. The awkward beard never bothered me anyway." I'm paraphrasing.
Well, 3 hairs are not a beard, so.
Oh, why not? What is a beard?
I would say at least over 1,000 hairs would start creating a beard. Maybe way more than that.
Now,
but 3 hairs, not so much. Not so much.
Now, the only issue I have with your definition there, gaming, is by that definition, a 5 o'clock shadow would be a beard, because there are many hairs, but they're very short.
Exactly. It's still somewhat of a beard.
Is it?
I would think so.
See, I consider this more of almost just barely a beard, because it kind of blends together now, but it's at least past what I would consider an awkward phase, aside from the little under neck beard and stuff.
Well, you see your face. You see your face. I get 3 hairs.
Okay.
On my face.
I have been in similar circumstances where I had like maybe 4 hairs. Maybe I had additional hair privilege.
I doubt that. Even as a kid, I'm sure you had at least 20 hairs. They would start growing out of your either neck or your shin or whatever. I got 3.
Are you normally a hairy person?
No. I'm naturally smooth.
Some would consider that a blessing.
I would think so.
I'm very smooth. I really know at some points in my life I would have been like, it's a blessing. It's like, oh, this is saving me a lot of time and effort and perhaps awkwardness.
I never had to deal with that. I can't grow facial hair, and I'm 40. So
you know what, gaming? Laura believes in you. She says 3 hairs is somewhat of a beard, and she's a lovely young British lass. So,
as adorable that sounds, I call her a liar.
Oh.
3 hairs.
Those sound like fighting words. I think Laura needs to pop up and defend herself.
Are you that bored? So you need
such horrible
you need for her to come back just because you're that bored. Are you that bored?
Well, I mean,
sir, are you that bored that you need for her to come back?
What?
Am I not entertaining you enough?
Oh, well.
If my 3 hairs not entertaining enough for you?
I'm not sure 3 hairs is enough, gaming, right now. I'm being swayed by your arguments.
Well, I mean, I got a hair on my top of my head, which goes down to my butt crack. So, I mean, I have that kind of hair going.
What color hair?
Jet black.
Ooh, sounds shiny.
Oh, it's very shiny.
That sounds like my pretty Brazilian friend. Are you my pretty Brazilian friend?
Mexican, so I would not think so.
My nephew's half Mexican.
Oh, okay. So half good worker. Gotcha.
No, it's and again, oh god, apologies for my racism and stuff. But all I know is at one point, no, I okay. Back in the day when when my nephew was like just born. He was probably like less than a year or so old. I ended up meeting my cousin's wife, and she's a lovely young woman and everything. I'm just kind of talking, and he just tells me, he's like, oh, her ancestry, background, stuff like that. I'm like, oh, geez, dude, I'm sorry, man. Like, I thought she was Asian. And like, again, apologies for my racism. But he looks at me, he's like, I thought so too. And he's no. But her and her sister was actually like 100% Mexicano, like from Mexico. Like that's where their family was from. They lived in Texas and everything. And I'm just like, wow. I don't know, dude. That's why I don't know. Maybe in some ways I'm kind of a man whore. Why?
I am from Texas, so. Hey.
Oh. Well, I mean, if you look like my cousin's ex-wife, then you're an attractive young woman.
I don't look Asian, but I do get hit on by straight men on a daily basis.
Oh dear. YouTube is apparently ninjaing Laura's hours. She was 63 away from monetization, and they've taken away 2,600 hours. They should have a letter or something about this, or I don't know. Gaming, do we need the YouTubers union? Do we need representation?
I guess we do. But I mean, I got the hours, believe it or not. How shocking is that? I got the hours for it, but I don't have the number of I don't have 1,000 subscribers. I only have three. I have 325 subscribers.
Oh, so we just need to grab you 675 more.
So okay. I just don't have but I have the hours, which is humbling, I guess. That's a lot of views.
The thing is, you've been doing it for a while, and a lot of.
But it only counts per year, though, I believe.
I think you stream enough. Well, here's the thing, dude. If you stream an average of once a day for like 2 hours, I mean, if you're getting, even if it's just 8 to 10 folks just kind of popping in for that, you're probably going to have the hours. Like I don't have near the subs nor the hours by any means. But then again, I usually don't often live stream, so it's not like I would be doing this for potential hours of viewers. I am absolutely doing it.
You need to do it more often.
We'll see. That's my big thing. It's just like I look at all this, and I've seen YouTube kind of go through a couple of different iterations recently, and it's like I think a lot of what YouTube's trying to do right now is it's kind of try to play catch up and or make up for maybe stupid things that they've done before and or hadn't necessarily cracked down upon in ways that they should have. Because you just go back to, it's like I'll always highlight like The Amazing Atheist, TJ Kirk. At one point, he's like, he gave me a video, and he was just like, so I remember when I entered into the fray of politics. He's like, in the 2012 election, I made a video making fun of Sarah Palin. It got 1 million views. YouTube then sent me a check for $4,000. I'm like, you make fun of a person and you get a bunch of money. Is that really the standard we want to have? All I'm saying, man, is a lot of the things we're seeing recently is we just need to consider how many thousands, if not millions of dollars have been paid out to people for simply just hating on those that they dislike. And again, I realize there are actual criticisms to go around, but it's just I've heard thoughtful criticism videos, and unless you've really been around for a long time and really maybe built from the ground up over many, many years, those are not often the videos that you get. You get the ones where it's like, oh my God, this person with the worst face that they've made available on the internet. Oh, we're taking the piss out of them. It's like, okay, so here's a point. Here's 7 ad hom attacks. Here's a point. We're going to make fun of this person's weight. We're going to make fun of this person's sexuality, the color of their skin, or something like that. It's like, really? And that's my thing. It's like, my big thing is, okay, I look at, like, I haven't watched Captain Marvel yet. I still need to go back and watch it along with finishing Black Panther. Dude, it's the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Why do you say that?
No.
Why?
Because I'm doing you a fucking favor.
I should not take up maybe an hour and a half of my time that I'm just looking to kill with a movie I have available for free.
But why would you want to give yourself AIDS?
Because
Look,
I'm
listen,
curious. I'm
look, listen.
curious about what's going on. I'm curious why all these people are hating on things.
So,
Because like I
so
just said,
you're
dude, I just watched The Last Jedi. I'm like, well, it's okay.
so you're curious
It
to
wasn't
catch
amazing.
AIDS? I mean, are you
What?
curious to catch AIDS?
I'm curious about many things.
But catching AIDS, that would not be one of them.
I am not sure my playing
Watching,
of Captain Marvel on Netflix will lead to me contracting the HIV virus.
I beg to differ.
You might be right.
Well, I've never been wrong.
Except
Never,
for
never,
except for
especially when I'm wrong. I'm never wrong.
I really want to give you a hug right now.
I know.
Just because I keep on looking at your avatar and I'm just thinking Samurai Jack.
You son of a. Samaj, fucking Samaj, accused me of being a Aku. Yeah.
That's who it is. You are a cool.
Fuck off.
You're a cool.
No, I'm not.
That sounded very racist. My apologies.
You racist bastard.
I know.
I come here to entertain you, and this is how you repay me.
Wait, you came here to entertain me?
Yeah.
Doing a very poor job of it.
Really? With that giant fucking happy smile and bullshit? And
I just learned how to highlight comments. That's what this little thing is.
I'm
sorry,
gay.
Laura.
You're so gay.
Oh, dude, this is kind of cool. This is something that we kind of tried to put together. Oh, if only we actually had a full team and people and money and resources.
Hey,
okay,
we'll get there. We'll get there. I'll help you with my sexiness. Oh fuck, we're screwed.
Wait, what? Oh, well, why? Are you considering it cringeworthy?
I don't consider you cringeworthy, no.
Oh, well, sometimes you just gotta lean into the cringe.
Well, you're comedy sometimes, but
oh,
you know.
Thank you.
I go my way, you go your. I'm not gonna say it.
I mean, are you an individual of the Jewish faith and or ancestry?
Yes, because I'm Mexican and I don't know how I became Jewish, but God, no, I'm not. I can't. My penis, no.
You could convert. Oh, gaming.
No.
Are you saying we need to get a Kickstarter to give you a little trim? We need to start a Kickstarter to make you a fine Jewish man.
No, I like my penis. No.
What? No. Well, I mean, you need to sacrifice a bit of the flesh.
Yeah, fuck because that shit. No way. I don't know. I like my 100%.
Did I hear a declaration of conversion?
I have 100%.
Are you a committed follower
down there? I'm gonna keep it that way.
Now you do realize you could probably save a little bit of money on soap and water, right?
I don't really care. Versus sensitivity? Hell no.
Wait a second. Are you ragging on my haircut?
Yeah. Not as sensitive as mine.
I thought it was the policy at the time of when I was born. Wait a second. You're not much older than me, dude. You're only like a little bit older than me. Well, what point did they change that here in the States? Because I don't know. Because like I was 84. 84, as far as I know, the standard policy of the time was zip. Unless the parents specifically requested.
Well, first of all, I'm Mexican.
Wait, I was opt-in.
I was one. Who the hell's calling you?
Oh, my mom.
Hi, Mom.
It's okay. We're getting to that point. I asked her to remind me, so we'll give her a call. Oh, gaming, entertain the people.
Okay. I would do the German dance for you. It's fun and gay and tra-la-la. Hope you would enjoy my song. Philia. Oh, wait. This is the song that doesn't end. Yes, it goes on and on, my friend. Some people started singing and not knowing what it was, and they'll continue singing it forever just because this is the song that doesn't end. Yes, it goes on and on, my friend. Some people started
singing it, not knowing what it was, and they'll continue singing it just because this is the song. Okay, now that we've ruined the stream and driven everybody from the side of the internet. But yeah, no, it's we are coming up upon the 6 o'clock hour here on the East Coast here, and I assume that would probably be 3 o'clock p.m. West Coast time in these United States of America. Gaming, your final thoughts on whatever the heck you would like to say at this current moment.
I am very pretty, and everybody should love me. And if you don't love me, it's because there's something wrong with you. And if you love me, there's definitely something wrong with you. But that's about it. Love me.
All right. Well, hey, thank you so much for that closeout. And just to summarize everything that gaming had just said right there, what I've taken away is you're pretty when I'm drunk. You're pretty when I'm drunk. You're pretty when I'm drunk. And I'm pretty frickin'